Acknowledgement of Country. Sai Ram. Before we commence this evening's program, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country throughout Australia and their continuing connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. We also pay our respects to the traditional elders in Fiji and New Zealand, and also acknowledge their elders, past and present, upon whose land our Sai brothers and sisters meet to continue Swamy's work tirelessly.
Sai Ram. Our pathway to Prasanthi is no ordinary journey. In the sacred texts of yore, sages and rishis had to undertake years and years of penance to get even a small glimpse of the divine form. And yet, you and I have been chosen to have this sacred opportunity to visit his divine abode. Swamy has said, nobody can step into the hallowed gates of Prasanthi Nilayam unless he wills. Why then would we not seize this opportunity? But first, let us apply for the ultimate travel passport from him. A passport to allow us to travel back to the holy sands of Prasanthi, where his physical form crawled, walked, and talked. How should we apply for this passport? Well, the only prerequisite is to fill our hearts with the yearning for him. To travel back home, is a passport enough? No, we also need a boarding pass, which is his grace. As Swamy says, when we come to Prasanthi, we come like cars to a workshop. We must aspire to leave with new paint, with all the damaged and loose bolts and nuts replaced, with the engine cleaned and reconditioned, and every part spick and span, beautiful, trouble-free, in perfect trim, ready to speed on the journey that lies ahead. To prepare ourselves for this service process, we have organized the Pathway to Prasanthi Satsang series. 5 conversations with energetic and vibrant speakers who will share their tips on how to make the easiest and quickest journey back to him. Join us each month on board the Sri Sathya Sai Airlines so that we can all undertake this journey together. Dearest pilgrims, while you are on board this flight, please remember to continue to charge yourselves with your daily sadhanas and keep yourself connected to him until we reach our final destination. We hope you enjoy every minute of your journey. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram everyone. I welcome you all to the next edition of our Pathways to Prasanthi program. We are having this series of satsangs leading to our Parthi Yatra in December. These satsangs will help us to get connected to Bhagawan through experiences of devotees who have had the good fortune of interacting with Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in Prasanthi Nilayam. It is my absolute honor and blessings to introduce Brother Ravi Kumar, who needs no introduction, but I have a duty to introduce him to you all. Brother Ravi Kumar, born in Chennai and having had his early childhood at Madikeri, Karnataka, Brother Ravi Kumar joined Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vihar in Ooty in 1978 at the age of 7. Brother Ravi Kumar has completed Bachelors Commerce and MBA from Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. and was awarded the All-Rounder Gold Medal of Proficiency in an array of fields, including academia, sports, cultural, and spiritual activities. Upon graduating with his MBA in 1993, Brother Ravi Kumar was permitted by Bhagawan to join his Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences in Puttaparthi, where he continues to work as a senior manager in the departments of Radiology and Urology. He was blessed by Swamy to sing in Mandir when he was studying 8th standard grade in the year 1983, and he still continues for several decades here. Brother Ravi Kumar, thank you for accepting your precious time to spend here with us on this divine satsang. To move on, I just want to start with my questions. We all have a memory of our first darshan of Swami. Can you relate you how you came to Swami?
Sairam, Sairam to all of you. And it is my blessing and honor that I can say a few words on the experiences that Swami has blessed me with only because of his love. I can say that because having come to Swami at a very young age, I always think that it is too young an age uh, to have done actions of merit that can instantly bring you towards God. So I'm very very grateful to my parents for having shown me my God so early in life. And let me start by saying that it is very very heartening to hear that the Zone 3 of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council is planning its pilgrimage to Prasanthi Nilayam in December, and it will be truly wonderful to see all of you here in our home. Truly, it is our home because this is where our divine mother, father, and guru is. So, coming to the question that you asked, Brother Gopi, about how we came to Swami, um, every story of every devotee who comes to Swami is such a unique story, and it is so beautiful to listen to the various ways in which Swami can attract us to him. And for our family, it was through my father, and my father is a very avid reader of books. So for work, he had gone in the year 1975. He had gone to Bangalore on some work from where we were in Madikeri, Karnataka. So while in Bangalore, he went to a bookstore and he was just casually browsing through some books he wanted to read. And he came across this beautiful book, Sai Baba, the Man of Miracles, by Mr. Howard Murfitt. And that book needs no introduction in the Sai family. And my father, just he had not heard anything about Swami earlier to that. He picked up that book and he brought it back home and he read that book. And obviously, like anybody who reads that book, he was totally in love with this personality who was the central figure of this book, which is our beloved Swami. And then he was only wondering what, how he could come in, communication with this Sai family. And again, by, a Sai incidents, he got in touch with an uncle uh, in our place. His name was Mr. Appachu. He was a Kurgi from the Kurg district of that place. So that uncle and a few others happened to be devotees of Swami. And my father met him and asked, they got into a conversation and they found out that he knew Swami and that there was actually a samiti with very few members in that place. And father was very happy and he started going to the samiti. After father started going to the samiti, he learnt a few bhajans and then he would visit Whitefield when Swami came there for darshan a few times. This was in 1975. In 1976, my father decided to come to Puttaparthi for the Shivaratri. And he was so taken in by the experience that he told my mother and me and my sister that, we must visit Puttaparthi that year. So for Dashera in 1976 was the first time I set feet into the hallowed precincts of Prashanthi Nilayam. And my one memory of that place was Purnachandra Auditorium with the stage, with the yajna happening, with the brilliant flames. I know that one image has got stuck in my mind, and I don't have a memory of anything else because I was about 5 years old. It is just the brilliant orange flame and the brilliant orange robed Swami with his halo of hair sitting right behind that flame for Dashera Yajna. So that is one memory that has got imprinted in my memory, and so that is the first time we came to Prashanthi Nilayam. However, our first interaction with Swami, if you could call it the physical interaction with Swami, was in 1978. So after 1976, we were part of the Samiti, and parents were very regular there, and we would also start having bhajans at home. So in 1978, my father decided that there was not good schooling available for me where we were in Madikeri. And he also heard that that year in 1978, Swami had started a school in Ooty, and he was very keen on putting me there. And to his, to our good fortune and the good news he heard was that Swami was also starting the third class. It was not just the first standard and second standard. Swami was starting the third standard, and I was about to go to the third standard then. First 2 years I had studied in Madikeri. So, and we were on our way to the OT school for my entrance, and I have said this on a number of occasions that car, Mercedes car with Swami in it, overtook us near Mysore, and it stopped at this Bandipur forest. There was a guest house, and Swami interacted with us there, and for the first time, he showed his divinity when, his omnipresence while talking to my father and then to my mother. And then when he asked us where we were going, and when father said we are going to try to join Ravi in the school, in your school in Ooty. And then Swami said, "Oh, very good, very good. I am also going to Ooty. I am going there to inaugurate the school." So we are very happy that this is our first Sai incidence in our life. And this Mr. Appachu, who had actually taken father to the Samiti, etc. in Madikeri, he was along with us. He also wanted to come to Ooty. And then Swami recognized him physically then, and he would call him Kolar because Mr. Appachu was working in the Kolar goldfields earlier. And so Swami would refer to him as Kolar. And he said, "Hey Kolar, what is your son doing?" So this Mr. Appachu replied to Swami saying that Swami, he is looking after our coffee estate. And Swami said, "Hey, what looking after your coffee estate? He has just grown long hair, he has grown a mustache, and he's grown a long beard, and he's just roaming around there on the bike." And Mr. Apachu was in Madikeri, whereas his coffee estate was little distance away from Madikeri. So he just bored. He did not know what his son was doing. He thought he was taking care of the coffee estate. And this is what Swami told Mr. Apachu. And of course, we went to OT, and I wrote the entrance exam, and I got selected to join Swami's OT school. And the wonderful thing that happened was after this, my father went back to Madikeri, and then along with Mr. Apachu, he went to their coffee estate one day. And the exact scene that Swami had said in the Bandipur forest about Mr. Apachu's son having grown long hair and a mustache and a long beard, and he was roaming around on the bike. This was the exact scene that my father saw. And that was another instance in immediately, Mr. Apachu also was not aware that this was the rupa, or this was the form that his son was currently, in. And that was, it once again opened my father's eyes, to it showed Swami's omnipresence, where he could see everyone everywhere. So, apart from showing our family directly, when something that my mother whispered to father, Swami came out of the guest house and responded to that directly to my mother. And immediately after the trip, this was the second incident that Swami instantly showed the his omnipresence. So, and August 8th of 1978 was the blessed day that I joined Ooty. Yeah, and that is how we came to Swami. And I think there is a bhajan which probably uh, encompasses the feeling of waiting to have Swami's darshan, waiting to see Swami for the first time, and then also telling Swami that you are the omnipresent Lord who knows everything. I will just hum a few lines of this bhajan now. मुझे दर्श दिखाओ भगवान, हे साईनाथ भगवान, मुझे दर्श दिखाओ भगवान। तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी, दीजो मेरे प्रभु अमृत वाणी। तुम हो मेरे आत्मा राम बाबा, पूर्ण करो मेरे मन के कामना, दर्श दिखाओ भगवान। So the prayer that is built into this beautiful bhajan is that we are asking for Swami to show himself to us. Yes, many of us are blessed to have had the physical darshan of Swami. But what is most important, especially today, is that we ask Swami to show himself to us inside of us. We want to see him every moment of our life. So that is the darshan that we are seeking. O Sainath Bhagavan. And we are telling him, Tum janat sab antaryami. O indweller of my inside, indweller of my heart. Tum janat sab. You know everything. Like I was just narrating, Swami's omnipresence, how he showed it to us in our very first meeting. You know everything, Swami. If we lead our lives with that simple premise, how much more ABC, how much more of the always be careful we can be in our lives, right? If we just think that Swami is looking at us at every instant. And तुम हो मेरे आत्मा राम बाबा, and पूर्ण करो मेरे मन के कामना. And what is that man ke kamana? What does the mind, what does the heart desire? The best and only desire to have is a desire for God, Swami says. And please, Purana Karo, Swami, you give me that darshan within me and fulfill that desire of mine. What is that desire? Darsha dikhao mujhe. Show me your darshan within me. So I think this is a beautiful bhajan which encapsulates the concept of how all of us come to Swami for the first time and how Swami showed his omnipresence to us as well at that time. Yes, brother.
So that was a really wonderful session, and you had explained us with that wonderful bhajan, brother. So you had taken us through your golden memories, and as you rightly pointed out, we are all waiting to visit our home, the home, Prasanthi Nilayam. And as you rightly pointed out, we all take this within us, like see him every moment in our life. And you know everything, Swami. So as Swami knows everything, we are all ready here to visit his home. So and it's our home as well. So and to move on with the next question, you have been blessed by Bhagawan to be a singer in his presence, a student, a Prashanti Bhajan singer, and continues to serve Bhagawan in his hospital. How can we find this inspiration to submit ourselves to be that instrument in Bhagawan's hands to serve selflessly? Anna.
This is a very interesting question because I think each of us who have come into Swami's fold, as it were, it is so that we become a better version of ourselves, so that we become better human beings, so that we undergo some transformation in our lives, so that we find some peace in our lives. Isn't that what we are all seeking? So, as Swami says, the first thing that we should do is to make the circle complete, which is one half of the circle. He says is to say that I am man, and the second half of the circle, which says that I am not animal. Only Swami can put it so beautifully to say that, oh no, I am not an animal, I am a man. So, the first important thing is on our journey towards divinity is to first realize that it is a blessing of thousands of lifetimes that we have been born as human beings. So, realize that we are man, we are not animal, and then we are on the pathwards to becoming divine. Because even looking at Swami as a master, we know he's our divine master. Of all the masters who have come down on earth, Swami is a master who has said, I am divine, but so are you. You know, how many divine masters have given us that confidence? He said, so are you. I have realized it. You have not yet realized it. So I think all of us on our journeys are only trying to realize this fact that yes, we are human beings in the first place, and we are on our journey towards becoming that divine, that spark which is in us. We want that spark of divinity to ignite the whole of us so that we become aware of that. And what is this journey or this path? This you're all on this pathway to Prasanthi, pathway to peace, and that peace will descend on us only when we have Swami's darshan within us. And this journey, some of us have started this journey a little earlier, only because we were born earlier, and some have started the journey a little later. But this absolutely does not convey who is going to reach the destination first or who's going to reach the destination last. It is nothing because so much happens in the way. We know the story of the tortoise and the hare. But even among all of us, we are not animals, we are human beings. Even among human beings, there are so many incidents that could happen along the way, which will either slow us down or make us go faster. But the most important thing is that we must be on this path. We must be on this journey. So, whatever we do, whether Swami had blessed me with the opportunity to sing for him or to work in one of the institutions in Prashanti Nilayam, or wherever we are in the world doing whatever we are doing, the most important thing is to tell ourselves that our journey is something else. Journey to realize that we are divine. That is essentially the journey, and whatever is the instrument that we use, the path that we use, or the instrument that we use to reach that, that has to be made into an instrument that will aid us on this journey. So, I, since you asked me about my journey as the blessing that I had to sing before Swami, that is a journey that he started off on the first day that I joined Ooty school. Out of the lot of us kids who were sitting, he asked me to get up and sing on the very first day. So August 8th, 1978 is a date that I will not forget because that day I sang physically in front of Swami. I sang Bolo Narayana Jai Jai Vithala Sai Narayana Ranga Ranga Vithala. And then Swami, he heard the bhajan, he said, nice, and sit down. And that was just the beginning of, getting the opportunity to sing in front of Swami whenever he visited Ooty. And then the blessing continued. I think, see, When I say it is Swami's blessing alone, as a little child, you are not aware and you have not been told by anybody else also that, yeah, you can sing a little bit. Why don't you concentrate on singing? No. It just saw me out of the blue. He picked me up, and then I knew that, okay, this is something that Swami thinks I can do, or let me continue doing that. So as a little child, that's what I kept doing. And when from OT school, when I joined the senior boys hostel, but in my sixth standard, we used to stay along with our senior brothers. And Swami visited the hostel once. I was in my seventh standard, and the elder brothers gave an opportunity for me to sing in the hostel in front of Swami. There is this quadrangle in the hostel, and there used to be a tamarind tree. And under the tamarind tree, Swami's jhula would be kept, and Swami would be gently swaying in the jhula. Swami's discourse would be there. There would be some speeches, but we would also get a chance to sing in front of Swami. And elder brothers had made me practice and made me sing this song. Oh ma, oh ma, ओ माँ साई माँ तू कितनी अच्छी है तू कितनी भोली है प्यारी प्यारी है and then the last paragraph goes माँ बच्चों की जान होती है वो होते हैं किस्मत वाले जिनकी माँ होती है तो कितनी सुंदर है तो कितनी शीतल है न्यारी न्यारी है ओ माँ साई माँ and this song so beautifully fits for Swami, and you can just imagine the scene of Swami sitting in a jhula, gently swaying. There's a gentle breeze blowing in the quadrangle, just surrounded by his children, and we are singing to him, saying that "Tu kitni sundar hai, you're so beautiful, you're sheetal, you're looking so cool, you bring that sense of peace." And then we go on to say, माँ बच्चों की जान होती है. We are all hosteliers, we are all hostel boys who are physically separated from our bodily mothers. And then we say, वो होते हैं किस्मत वाले. Those are the lucky ones who have their mother around us. And that line is bang on, I feel, because we had our divine mother sitting right there in front of us, showering her love on all of us. So, तो कितनी सुंदर है ओ माँ साई माँ. So that is another wonderful memory I have of this blessing that Swami had given me to sing before him when I was a child, and my voice had not changed, so it was like a child's voice then, and I was told by my elder brothers that Swami was looking at me throughout the song because I have the habit of closing my eyes and singing, and he was looking at me with those loving eyes which only he can look at with those loving eyes. So that he showered. So that again was a blessing. And then next year in my eighth standard, when he came to the hostel, again the elder brothers gave me a chance to sing a bhajan in front of him. And sweet Lord just picked me up out of nowhere the next day in the bhajan hall. When the bhajans were going on, he called me and said, "Sing the bhajan that you sang, yesterday in front of me in the hostel." And so in the Mandir, I sang, "Hey Nandalala, Hey Brajabala, Makhan Chora, Yashoda ke Bala." So in any of these incidents, whether it was the first day or whether it was Swami looking at me with a lot of love in the hostel or picking me up to sing. So this is a journey and this is a path that I was very very fortunate that Swami had picked out for me. That you will find me through music. You will find me through Sai Bhajans, and for that I'm truly truly grateful. And for having been a student, the other thing you said is that I have had the good fortune of being Swami student. Like I said earlier, I had nothing to do with becoming Swami's student. It is parents who decided that I should join, and Swami gave the divine permission that I could join the hostel. I got in, and that beautiful journey that has started from then. Uh, I like to say that I am not responsible for that in any way. It is just Swami who has showered. Sometimes I feel more than I deserve, more than I think I deserve. Swami knows best. He has showered, and the blessings of my parents. So that is what has taken me on this journey of being a Sai student. And coming back to singing, I think one very important aspect of singing is whether we are using that path, that instrument to actually go on this journey into realizing that we are divine. That is the pathway. Are we using that instrument rightly? Because Swami would come and he would ask, he's asked all of us, he will come and point out and say, you singer, and then you want to get up and tell Swami, yes, when you're a student, you want to tell, yes, Swami, I'm a singer. And then he will frown and say, or sinner, he will ask. And then you're taken back. You don't want to say yes to sinner, right? You want to say, yes, I'm a singer, Swami. But he doesn't give you a chance, he doesn't want to pump that ego into us. They will ask, singer or sinner? And then you start wondering, why Swami asked that? And then, he makes you think, what am I doing? Am I using my singing for the right purpose? Am I doing it to please my Swami? Or what is it that I am doing with this instrument? So, the important thing is to find out what we are doing with this instrument that Swami has blessed us with. Now, for example, if it is this divine instrument of singing or any form of music, whether you're an instrumentalist or you're a singer, what we have to ask ourselves is that instrument, that is the path that we are taking, is it helping us on our journey on this path towards realizing divinity? Are we utilizing it to make Swami happy? Because Swami would come, and this he has asked us. He would come and he would point, and he asked me, are you a singer? And then, obviously, you want to tell Swami that, yes, Swami, I'm a singer, because, he's given permission. And among the 400 boys in the hostel, you're 10 of you who are singing in front of him. So you want to say, yes, Swami. And before you are able to respond, Swami says, or sinner. And then you get thinking that, oh my God, what is this, this googly that he has bored. And now you don't want to say that you're a sinner, obviously. No, you want to say you're a singer. But Swami just asked you this question and he has left. So, which then leads you to a lot of introspection, where we think, why did Swami ask whether I'm a sinner? So, what is there anything that I'm doing wrong? What should I do to improve myself? These thoughts come into you. That is why Swami asks these questions. And he doesn't ask you, he also asks you individually if he is giving you an interview in the interview room, but he'll come and ask you in front of everyone, so that it, make sure that firstly that you're not all pumped up saying that you're a singer, and also that it's not just you, everyone else around you starts asking themselves that question, am I a singer or am I a sinner? Am I a proper musician using my path to reach Swami, just to please Swami, or am I doing it for any other reason? So this singer versus sinner debate is what must go on within us, because being a musician or being a singer or any instrumentalist that Swami has blessed us to be part of a bhajan group or a music group, it is a huge responsibility, because it is not just the chance that Swami has given you, because we have seen innumerable examples of talented, very very talented people, but who just did not get too much chance, if you would call it. Swami would not give them too much chance, though they were very very talented, because there is something beyond mere talent that Swami looks for, and that what Swami looks for is to make us distinguish between whether we are singers or whether we are sinners. And what one thing that Swami beautifully explained, he says, if you are taking the devotees towards me, then you are a singer. If you are taking devotees away from me, then you are a sinner. So that makes a huge, big difference between whether we are on the path or we have gone off towards a thorny jungle out of which we have to extricate ourselves and come back and join the path from becoming not a sinner to becoming a singer once again. So then, once again, coming back to being a Sai student, in which I said I had no role absolutely to play to becoming a Sai student. And as Swami himself has said, he would come and say, no, student, and if someone will say, Aun Swami, nen student, then he'll say, oh, my college student, he'll say, oh, you're a student of my college, is it? Swami makes a big distinction between being a student in his college and being his student. So being a Sai student, normally it is used generically to say that Sai student is someone who studied in one of Swami's educational institutions. But most importantly is, are we following Swami's words? That is what will truly make us a Sai student. Um, yeah, and when we say that, one is a student of Swami's educational institutions, it is definitely a huge blessing and a privilege. Why? Because when you're starting off on this spiritual journey, if you have a head start, you definitely have an advantage in that sense, that on this path, if you're thinking of it as a running race where you have a destination, which is the goal, which is Swami, and you have started off a little early, you have all this, Swami is spending so much time with the students physically. He's pouring so much of his love, so much of his teachings he's telling the boys through his discourses or through informal sessions, and for students more so through informal sessions. And if we are able to absorb this, then we are truly going ahead. In any sport, you call it a handicap, where an opponent, a weaker opponent, you give, suppose you're playing a game for 20 points, you tell your opponent that, okay, you start with 10 points, let's start with 10-0. You are 10, I am 0, you start. So it's a handicap that you're giving. So, I think becoming a student in Swami's educational institutions is that handicap that Swami has given us, saying that, okay, I'm giving you a little extra. But after that, it is our effort that we must make. So that's what I always feel, that though we are being Swami's educational institution students, the more important aspect is how much of Swami's teachings we are bringing into our daily lives. Are we whom Swami would say, he is my boy or he is my girl, he is my student, he is my devotee? This is what we want Swami to say. Not, oh, you are my college student. It's not that. We want him to say, oh, you are my student. Now, if we think that is going to be our focus, our primary focus has to be him. And if that is our focus, we want Swami to tell us that, then we are truly Sai students. So getting a head start in Swami's educational institutions for me personally, obviously means the world, means my whole life. Um, but only if I am able to make something extra out of it, something out of this handicap that Swami has given me. And the final part of your question, brother, is about having the opportunity to serve in Swami's institutions. See, paths are so many. Our willingness to serve Swami varies in percentage from person to person. Some wanting to stay physically around Swami and serve him in those days, I'm talking about 30 years ago, and some wanting to go outside and serve Swami. All these things are just percentages of how we feel, how much we want to give to Swami. And it is not that if you say that, Swami, I want to be physically here and serve, you are at 100%. Someone who wants to serve Swami from outside is a 0%. No, no, no. These percentages are not decided by us. Swami decides what is the percentage we are offering to him. Just like being a Sai student, being a student of Swami's college doesn't say you're a Sai student 100%. The same way, Working in Swami's education, Swami's institutions doesn't define that we are at 100% offering to Swami. Yes, it is a blessing of a lifetime to have got this chance, but we have to make the most of this opportunity also. Here, I would like to take the example of one of my classmates. We grew up in school and college together. We were part of the same group. We used to make the same offerings to Swami. And eventually, after our studies, we decided that we want to stay around and serve Swami's institutions around here. So there was, for me, with Swami's blessing, I had no second thought about, joining any other organization after my MPA, anywhere elsewhere. I wanted Swami to bless me with a chance here. And so did this brother of mine who also waited. There's this concept of waiting boys in Parthi when we would all finish our education and then wait for Swami to either bless us with an opportunity to do a job here or bless us, saying that go be with your parents. That is what Swami would also place so much emphasis on. He would say, go be with your parents and serve them. So we would either wait for one of these instructions from Swami. This brother of mine waited for a year. Swami gave many of us who were together in the same group, he gave us an opportunity to work in the hospital, but not this brother. And we, in our physical limited minds, could think of no reason absolutely why Swami would not give this brother also a chance to work in one of the institutions. And he finally told him that no, you go be with your parents, serve your parents, and if you want to serve me from there. And I can tell you all that this 100% that I was talking to you about, this 100% offering that we want to make to Swami, in my view, this is what this brother is doing today. This is what all of you there are doing today. So this blessing of offering something to Swami, being blessed with the chance to work in one of his institutions here, it is a blessing of a lifetime, but that is not the end all. The end all, the true meaning of doing service to Swami is wherever we are, whatever we are we doing it with a mind with to focus on Swami? Is that what we are thinking of? So, as far as in our limited thinking, there was absolutely no reason, no physical reason why Swami would not give this brother an opportunity to serve in one of the institutions as this brother wanted. But thinking back now, if we look at I was mentioning the 100% versus 0%, and where I said it does not matter where we work, though it is a definite blessing if you are given an opportunity to work here as you pray to Swami. But just because this brother did not get that opportunity, it does not mean that he is at a lower percentage. In fact, I keep telling him that he is doing so much service. He is doing so much service in Swami's organization, in Swami's name, that you probably wouldn't have been able to do that if you were here. And that is the reason Swami knows best, and Swami has asked you to, go home, serve your parents, and serve Swami through all the activities that he's doing today. He's at 100% today, and Swami knows best. And this is something that happened 30 years ago. So we are not to judge that just because I am a person who is working here, that I'm able to give something more. It is definitely not true. Like this classmate brother of mine, all of you out there, I'm sure all of you are doing so much and giving, dedicating so much of your time to do service to Swami. When I say that, like a handicap that we get when we join Swami's institution, this is something else that, being in Swami's, working in Swami's institution, the other handicap that he has given us, or I can say the double promotion. Normally, Swami mentions double promotion with regards to bhajan singers. He says when you sing bhajans, you have the opportunity to get a double promotion. That is, you get bliss, and others who are listening to you get bliss. So in that way, Swami says double promotion. So the same double promotion concept, if I were to apply to working in Swami's institution, one very touching incident comes to my mind. This happened a few years ago when I was at the CT scanner in radiology, and there was this very elderly man who was suffering from bladder cancer, and we had to do a CT scan on him, and I was just getting him off the CT scan couch, and as I brought him out and I said, Tata, exam అయిపోయింది, test అయిపోయింది, like, grandpa, your test is done, you can sit outside. This old, wizened old man, wrinkled old man, with a lot of suffering, he tried to bend down to touch my feet. And I was totally shocked. I held his hand and said, Tata Garu, I mean, grandfather, what are you doing? And he said, లేదయ్యా మీరు ఇంత సేవ చేస్తున్నారు. He said, you're doing so much seva. And that got me thinking. And I said, absolutely not. Swami has given me an opportunity to work in one of his institutions, this beautiful, wonderful institution, which is giving so much to the world. So Swami is, one promotion is given us is by giving us the opportunity to work in such an institution. So Swami is doing everything and making us get the name and get the blessings from such elderly people. So Swami's blessings and these patients, who give their blessings. In that sense, it is a double promotion that all of us have got. But this double promotion doesn't have to be limited to just the organizations that are around here. Don't each of us, in any sphere of work that we are doing, don't we have the opportunity to get the blessings of whomever we are working for? It may be a regular office work. If we are giving our best to that and offering it to Swami, basically saying that, Swami, I want to give you my best because you would expect only the best for me. I am giving the best, I'm doing it for you. I want to serve you to my 100%. And then when we get the blessing of the person on the other hand, though it may be a business deal, you may be working in a hospital, you may be working in the hospitality industry, you may be doing anything, sports, when the other person knows that you're doing your best, and then you get a God bless you son, or God bless you my daughter, or God just may Swami bless you, or in whatever way we get blessings, that is a double promotion that each of us have the opportunity to get. So I think that is a lesson that I got from, Swami showed me that it doesn't matter what work you're doing. It is as long as you're doing it with love and concern and 100% dedication, we all have the equal opportunity to get this 100% back from Swami and from our fellow human beings. So there is this bhajan which I think all of us can relate to, and all of us can sing to Swami, saying that, Lord, give me an opportunity to serve you. That is all it means. An opportunity to serve you. How? Sahasra Rusha Purushaha. Everybody around that we see in this world is a mere reflection of our Lord Sai. So anybody that we serve, we are serving Swami. Huh? So Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Prati Gachati. So it's in the same way, whomever you do good to or do seva to, it is reaching Swami. So let us not limit ourselves to thinking that only if I do something directly for Swami, that alone amounts to seva. No. So let us pray for more and more opportunities to serve anybody in this world through this wonderful bhajan, which is a prayer to our Lord. शिरडी साई परते साई हमको दीजो प्रेमामृत धारा प्रेमामृत धारा तब सेवा का अवसर दीजो सत्य साई महादेव। गानामृत में भाव भी दीजो प्रेम साई भगवान। प्रेम साई भगवान। So let this be our prayer to Swami. Swami, give me an opportunity to serve you. So I think, Brother Gopi, I think this is the way I can probably sum up that all of us have an opportunity to be Sai students. All of us have the opportunity to uh, tread Swami's path through any instrument like the singing or playing musical instruments or any fine art or karma, the path of karma, path of jnana, whatever we choose, that is a path. All of us have the opportunity to reach him through that. And finally, yes, the path of seva, having the opportunity to work in Swami's organization, it doesn't start and end here. All of us have an equal opportunity to do that.
Thank you so much, brother. So now I can see that Swami had rightly chosen you as a real instrument, and you had conveyed all the real incidents to us, and you had rightly pointed out the wonderful incidents. No words for me to say here, tears rolling down. And then, yeah, as you said, we have lots of takeaways from here. Whatever we are doing and whomever we are doing, that rightly pointed out an example from the Purushottam. So we have to do it with wholeheartedly. That we are surrendering everything to Swami, and we have to do the 100% of what we are doing in whatever way we are doing, surrendering to Swami. So you had rightly pointed out that's a wonderful takeaway for us, brother. And moving on to the next question. So can you please share some interesting anecdotes of your interactions with Swami with reference to the bhajan singing?
Okay, brother. Like I said, from the day one when Swami blessed me with the chance to sing a bhajan in front of him till today, uh, it is it has only been an overflowing of Swami's love, either that he had showered with his physical presence, or till today his divine presence, his benevolence continues to flow, and I'm only grateful for every second that Swami has allowed me to live in this life, in his light, in his music, and he has taught us so many lessons, and he has blessed us in multiple ways. A few of them that come to mind. One which I had recounted a little while ago. Many of you might have heard it, but every time I only think of it, it touches me because of how Swami teaches us the lesson of humility. When Swami and I were in the interview room, and Swami was picking out some saris and asking me to hold them, and he was humming the bhajan, Har Har Shankar Samba Sada Shiva Isha Mahesha. And it was such, you can imagine Swami's voice and Swami humming that softly with silence around. And you can just imagine how blissful it can be. And Swami, being the musical master that he is, he had taught us through our school days. Every song, literally, that we had sung in the dramas, Swami is the one who had taught us. And when Swami saw me lost in the bliss of the moment, and he asked, "What?" And I said, "Swami, it's just so beautiful." And then Swami said, "Hey, I cannot sing like you all." And Meela Padalenra, Swami said. And I had to just drop on my feet, drop the saris, drop on my knees and at his feet, and say, "Swami, you cannot tell me that." But this is the lesson that Swami teaches us, saying that whatever we may be in our lives, there is always more to learn. I know one of the great musical masters of nowadays he had visited, and he was in fact telling me once that when you go through years of musical penance and rigor and practice, you think that this is where I have to reach, and that is when I would have reached the end of music. And then you, after years of hard work, you reach there, and then you know that the destination has moved equal distance away from you, saying that, oh, you have to move that much more now in order to reach your destination. So a journey in music, as in every other field, is that it is a journey of constant improvement. And this is what Swami has taught, saying that if Swami, who has come down on earth as the master of everything, if he can say such a sentence to one little student of his, we have so much more to take. So I think that incident always touches my heart. And I remember another incident, how he teaches us to do more and more. In this was in the year 1984, yeah, 83 or 84. I was in my eighth or ninth standard, and one of my brothers had a bhajan book in which he would just note down bhajans that we would like. He and I would discuss, and he would note down. So during the bhajan session, I would be sitting right below Swami's feet. There would be the tiger's head, and below the tiger's head would be my head. And I was holding on to the book, that brother's book. And so during bhajan, Swami called me, and I got up. He said, "Show me the book." So I gave the book to Swami, and he read. There were not too many bhajans written in that, and he read. And each bhajan, he was raising his eyebrow and saying, "Ah, good, good, my bhajan." And then the lesson for this was, it was a great chance to get up and have Swami converse with you during bhajans and bless the book physically. While giving the book back to me, he said, "Inka bhajanlu nerchuko," he said. So he said, learn more bhajans. And then pointing at I was in school, so there were so many of my elder brothers there. And he said, Valdagra, Nerchko, he said, and gave the book back to me. So he said, learn more bhajans and learn it from your elder brothers. So, it was such a beautiful thing for all of us. And then, yeah, after that, uh, see, we all have our favorite bhajans, we all have our favorite voices we want to learn from, X, Y, Z, etc. So we all had that. But then when Swami, he pointed out to us and said, pointed out to me and said, Valtagar Nechko, he showed the entire group. So he wanted us, all to bond as brothers in the group. And he said, learn more bhajans. That is one thing. And he said, learn from all of them. So from then onwards, it was a continuous this thing of learning. So many of our elder brothers used to teach me new bhajans that they had just composed. Two or three they allowed me to sing in front of Swami for the first time, and that all started with this little incidents of Swami picking up the bhajan book. So when I reached my 10th standard, Swami spoke to me and asked me whether I was going home for vacation, and I told him yes. And for a couple of years, this was in my head, saying that I wanted to learn some basics about music. So because I feel it is a very important aspect of, though you don't need to be fully classically trained in order to sing Sai bhajans. That is how Swami has made it available to millions of us around the world. But some knowledge of music is definitely helpful. So I was having this in my head, saying that I wish I knew some music. And the omnipresent Lord, obviously he reads, he knows what's going on in our minds. So he said, "Oh, you're going home for vacation, then you learn some Carnatic music and come back." And I told him, "Okay, Swami." I had no clue. In our place in Madikeri, it is not really known for its fine arts, and definitely not known for its Carnatic music. Most of the locals there have an influence of the English. So, in fact, the place is called the Scotland of India, and there are a lot of English influence in that area. And Carnatic music is something that is very, I would say, very distant from that place. But I told Swami yes, and when I reached my place, when I reached home, and I told this to my parents, it turns out there was one very elderly uncle who used to work in my father's office. He was more than 70 years old, and we used to call him Ayer Mama. And apparently, Ayer Mama is a trained classical Carnatic singer, and I had no clue. So, out of the blue, this opportunity came, and then, of course, just for those 1.5 months, I could learn some basics of Carnatic music when I was in my 10th standard. And I came back and Swami asked me, yes, did you learn? I said, yes, Swami. But Swami, he said, what? I said, Swami, this Ayer Mama is leaving Madikeri. He is going back to his family. He said, Telusu, Chalu, Santosham, he said. And I was very happy. So it is as if Swami sent me for that one vacation to learn, because this is in my mind saying I want to know some basics, Swami, so that at least I knew at the end of that, at least I knew what was Saregama Padanisa. So that little desire in my mind, Swami fulfilled, and that was enough. And just imagine if it was 1 year later, I wouldn't have had Ayer Mama to give me even these basics. So this all-knowing Lord made sure that I learned a little bit that early in my life. And yeah, when I was in my um, 11th standard, there was this prize distribution ceremony in school, and I had won a few prizes. So when Swami came to the higher secondary school that particular year to distribute prizes to all of us, I before the prize distribution ceremony, I had sung this song. जग में सुंदर है दो नाम चाहे कृष्ण कहो या राम बोलो राम 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 बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम. Then it goes a very beautiful bhajan sung by Anup Jalota ji. Yeah. एक कंस पापी को मारे एक दुष्ट रावण संहारे दोनों दीन के दुख हरक है दोनों बल के धाम चाहे कृष्ण कहो या राम. So it says you say Krishna or Ram, these are avatars who come down to earth to deliver us. They are the ones who destroyed the wicked in order to protect the pious. So this was the beautiful song, and I had sung it. And a little later, after speeches, etc., when the prize distribution started, I went to collect my prizes from Swami. And when I picked the prize from Swami, Swami looked at me and said, he pointed to where I was sitting and said, Avi Rendura ni prizes. He said, those two are your prizes. So, whatever else, getting a prize physically from Swami's hand is a huge blessing, yes. But God's name, Rama or Krishna were just representations that were used in that song. But God's name is verily our blessing. Those are really our prizes. And as Swami has emphasized time and again, as he has emphasized even during the recent, the discourse we heard during the Vijayadashmi day, a few days ago, the discourse that was played, Swami spoke so much about Nama Sankirtan, and he said, recite God's name, and that is what is going to deliver you. And this is, in a very beautiful way, Swami told me, those two are your prizes. So hold on to those prizes, hold on to the name of God. So that was another incident that comes to mind. And yeah, as a my beloved master, my guide, um, everything that surrounds music or surrounds singing is something that Swami has only guided me, and he also taught me at every stage where when the head would swell, thinking that oh yeah, I am going to do something very well, and the focus was away from Swami, he would make sure that I know that my focus was not on him. So a journey with Swami is filled with love, is filled with a lot of lessons, and we as students of Swami's institutions, we know that in order to become a Sai student, apart from getting just love from Swami, you have to have these stern lessons that the Divine Father teaches. So The love that he has shared. One program during sports meet days, I was studying in Brindavan, and we would come to Puttaparthi, and we would have a music program put up in the college auditorium here in Prasanthi campus. And there was a kavali. I sang another song. The end of the program was a kavali, and by the end of the program, for some reason, my voice kind of closed, and I sang the kavali. The high lines towards the end, the high lines would come twice, and both the times my voice cracked, and I was so disappointed that my voice had cracked because Swamy was sitting there along with all the other students. The loving Lord came, and the first thing I asked was for forgiveness, and I told Swamy, I'm very sorry this happened. He said, hey, no, 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 all songs are good. Then he blessed all the boys, gave Padnamaskar. Then while going out of the stage, he said, Ravi, you opened your mouth more than usual. That is why your voice cracked. And then he went away. And I was so thankful. Swami, you take, such small things to come and tell us, how we should open our mouth while singing. He said, this is not how you normally do it. So this is how you should do it. And that lesson has also stayed in my mind. First thing that, he forgave me for, my mistakes in front of him, and also told me the solution for it. This is our beautiful, loving Mother Sai. And at the same time, there was this program where we were all practicing for. This was when I had come to Parthi and during my MBA for one of the festivals. And when we were practicing in the uh, bhajan, in the music room in the hostel, the practice sessions were apparently coming out very well. So some of the other brothers who came, they said, "Oh, you're blasting off." So blasting off in the hostel lingo means that, oh, it's coming out very well. They'll say, "Oh, in Mandir, it's going to come out very well," etc. And then you start thinking suddenly. That's what I said. No, lack of focus. Suddenly you think that you're going to do very well. So we went to the Mandir, the festival, the program happened, and we all did our best. And as per me, as per my little self, which will soon become much littler, I thought we had blasted off. And by the end of the program, I thought now, normally Swami would give us Pad Namaskar. I thought for this feat of ours, Swami is not just going to give us Pad Namaskar, he is going to give us some gift. That is how much, we had got bloated because of everybody around saying that you are going to do well. End of the program, Swami didn't even look at us. He didn't even look at me after I finished the last song. Just turned away. He asked for Arati and he just went away. And we were all so sad, obviously. But at the end of sadness, when all that vanishes, you're supposed to think, what happened? Musically, there was nothing wrong. But what happened? And then you eventually think that I was not singing it for Swami. I was singing it thinking that I am the doer. And where Swami has shown us hundreds of times that when you think you are not the doer and you surrender to Him, when you allow Him to take over, that is when you really blast off. That is when that happens. And so when a program was supposed to happen and my voice had totally closed down, when I surrendered to Swami one day in Brindavan, I told him, Swami, I can't speak. He just rubbed my throat once and said, Em parvaledu, you can. 1 hour later in the practice session, my throat had totally opened, which cannot be physically explained. So he showed us both sides of the coin, saying that, no, if you think you are the doer and your head swells up, this is what is going to happen to you. Whereas you surrender to Swami. I am only telling you this because, whether you asked me in terms of singing, what are some of the episodes I remember around Swami. But this, I think, applies to us in all spheres of life, in whatever form of work we are doing. Uh, the basic lesson here is that we offer it to Swami. And uh, time permitting, maybe, yeah, I'll just narrate one more incident, brother. Um, so when I was in school, I used to get very often tonsillitis. So my tonsils would get infected and inflamed. And so I went to Chennai once, and an ENT doctor said that I need to have my tonsils operated. So I came back, and obviously you don't have a surgery without Swami's permission. So I sat in the darshan line, and Swami was going past me. I told Swami, Swami, I need to have a tonsil operation. He said, "Oh, operation, huh?" And then he looked at me and then said, "But after the operation, whether you'll be able to sing or not," like this he did and walked away. And my mind was in turmoil. Oh my God, I just got the chance to start singing in front of Swami. And I said, what if I lose the chance to sing in Swami? It's like my life is, pretty much ended there. Like I said, very first day that I uh, saw Swami physically as a 7-year-old, this was the path that Swami showed me, and the blessing of singing in Mandir had just started, and I thought everything is going to go. It's almost like, you suddenly feel the footing under your feet, you're losing your footing, that kind of a feeling. So all these thoughts are racing across my mind, and Swami walked 2 steps ahead. He must have seen the absolute distress that was going on in my mind. He turned back with such a sweet look on his face. He looked at me and said, "Seriyai potundile. It will become all right." And that's it. So I came. I was so excited. I told my parents, "This is what Swami said. It will become all right, and no need of the surgery." So didn't have the surgery, didn't have and don't have tonsillitis, with my tonsils still in place, no tonsillitis after that. So this is the loving Lord who says that, you surrender yourself to me, I can bless you. And multiple times he has shown. So I think this is the biggest lesson that I can take, saying that any form of talent that God gives us, whether it is in the arts, whether it is in the fine arts, whether it is in academics. Some people are so extremely brilliant. Some people are so good at anything that you name it. Some people are financial geniuses. Anything that comes to us, it is because of that spark that is given by divinity, and that we hone, that we make it better so that we can offer it back to Him. As long as we keep that in our mind, and as far as singers are concerned, since we are on that topic, Swami once was speaking to all of us in the hostel, and he actually said, when you sing, sing for God, don't sing for your fans. Swami so beautifully uses this, saying that fans, in the sense whether you have somebody is your fan or not, these boys who come around, like in the hostel, I said, they came and heard our practice and said, "Hey, you're going to blast off," and all these kind of things. No, let those things not affect our head. Let us continue to, the focus should be that, yes, Swami, if something is good in me, it is because of you, and that whatever is good in me, I want to offer to you. I think as long as we have this focus, uh, we will remain blessed in our lives. Thank
That
you so
was
much for
really
this
wonderful.
opportunity.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yes,
That was really wonderful narratives which you had given with the live examples, which our Swami had given you as an experiences. Was really touching, and we will take away the messages which you rightly pointed out. That Nama Sankirtan is the best thing which we have to hold in our life throughout, and also the divine doctor, how he had cleared all your physical problems, and we should not get boosted by ourselves, and how to surrender and sing only for Swami. All these are the takeaways which you had rightly pointed out. And brother, one request, if you can recall what was that Kavali, can you sing few lines of that Kavali now, brother, for all of our devotees' sake now?
okay. Yes, brother. This Kavali, which starts with a couplet saying, "मोहब्बत की कमी अगर दिल में एहसास होता है." Yeah, it is very special for me because beloved Lord has asked me a few times to sing this Kavali, and ever since we have started looking for Swami, within us, um, this song has only made much, much, much more meaning to my life. and I think it holds the meaning for all of us. The meaning of this song is so beautiful. The tune, etc., were composed by my classmates when we were studying in Vrindavan. And yeah, let us focus on the meaning of this bhajan, which says that if you feel lack of love in your hearts, which as human beings going through the various facets that life has to offer to us, which can happen definitely to all of us, where we feel lack of love, all we have to do is look within. Pray to Swami saying, "Mujhe darsha dikhao Bhagawan." Let me see you within me. So this song says, "Zara jhanko to paoge." So if you look within, if you peep within, you will find that Sai is very, very close to you. And we cannot live without Sai. Sai bina raha na jaye. And we don't have to live without Sai because Sai is with us all the time. मोहब्बत की कमी दिल में अगर एहसास होता है, जरा झांको तो पाओगे कि साई पास होता है। ओ करिश्मा उसी का है कि दुनिया खूबसूरत लगती है, वरना आदमी को आदमी क्या रास होता है। साई बिन रहा न जाए, चैन न आए मोहे, चैन न आए, साई बिन रहा न जाए।
Thank you so much, brother. That was really blissful. You had taken us all directly to Prashantinilayam. With this one song, we all inspired. I know this one song had transformed many devotees. So I can proudly say that. And I hope all the devotees will accept that as well. So I hope you had already conveyed that about the bhajan singers and instrumentalists. And do you have any specific qualities one must focus on, or is there anything else apart from that you want to highlight here in this satsang, brother?
I think what I said earlier, just before the Mohabbat Ki Kami Bhajan, I think that covers all of us, right? Um, I would just like to end with the same thing, because time and again through our stay here, this is what Swami has taught us again and again and again, that whatever he has given us, he wants us to do the best. Swami wants us to give 100% of ours in any sphere that we are able to do, with the confidence that He is our strength. Small little things that Swami has taught us about. Can you imagine how to clean a coffee tumbler? How to make a bed with the bedspread? How to keep clothes clean? How to be physically clean. Swami has pointed out at ink spots on my shirt and said that if you're coming straight from school, it's all right, but otherwise, it's good to change your shirt and come. Small simple things our master has taught. From these things, he wants us to be perfect. I wanted to say, as close to perfect, but then I think Swami would not accept that word. He would say perfect, because unless we aim for perfection, we are not going to, we're not going to hit the heights of what we are capable of. So he wants us to aim at perfection in anything that we do, and we can do that if we believe that Swami is our strength, and that we are going to offer that back to Swami.
Thank you so much, brother. That was really blissful moments which you had spent, and we are so fortunate to have you here amongst with us. And as you rightly pointed out, we have lots of takeaways which you had shared with us now. And with this divine spark and the rejuvenating messages, we all will march towards the Prashanti pilgrimage program, and that was really helpful for us as a Zone 3 devotees here from Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. So thank you so much, brother Ravi Kumar,
Thank you.
and for your
Yeah,
blissful moments and the sharings which you had given through us towards this satsang. Thank you so much, brother. Jai Sai Ram.
yeah. I thank you for the opportunity too. And yes, when you all visit Swami's home, um, we will we will meet when you all visit Swami's home here in Prashanti in December. Sai Ram and thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.